To me, art would be how people express themselves and how they show how they really feel. To me, art is beautiful. All art, music, painting, drawings, film, all of it's art.
Art is culture. It combines music with actual paintings and drawings and other stuff that other people have derived from Latin and other different cultures. So everyone who does those things, they each have their own interpretation of it. For example, for music, you have pop, R&B, and all that stuff, and that is everyone's rendition of it. And as far as painting and drawing, everyone has their own styles for what they like to draw, whether it's cartoon or realism.
Anything that can express feelings or emotions or anything that can communicate.
Something which is a form of expression that has value and beauty to the creator.
My definition of art is just people coloring and painting however they feel like expressing their feelings.
Art is anything that you do expressively in some sort of performance, whether that's on a stage or on a canvas or through an instrument.
I feel like art is all about personal expression. And if I had to slap a definition on what art is, that is it. It's the ultimate in one's personal expression. I feel like art is important because... Okay, stop.
Art is amazing. It's drawing stuff on paper.
If you can put something on a piece of paper or even a wall or a canvas and make that into something important and beautiful, then that's art to me.
Anything that anyone puts passion into, because there's a lot of different kinds of art and most people are like, oh, realism is great, oh no, postmodern stuff is also great, and then they're like, oh no, your stuff isn't art. Everybody can just like their kinds of art happily. Anime, realism, old people art. So I think if you express yourself, it's art. And that's its importance. It's to scream your emotions or to let it out even if you don't want to show anybody. It's there so that you can convey an idea yourself.
After long consideration, I have concluded that art is anything that looks almost as beautiful as me.
Art is basically something visual or something someone can watch that brings happiness to people, whether it's music or visual art or dance.
The expression of one's inner self expressed in writing or painting or other obvious things.
Art would be anything that expresses emotion.
Art is life. Art is nice. Art is inspiring. Art is fun. Yeah!
It's more of a personal definition for everybody. And in that sense, anything and everything, if you want to think of it as art, can be defined as art. Art is anything a viewer finds beautiful for themselves.
I think of art as something where you can express your emotions and pour all of those emotions out into one single piece of work. That's what I see art as.
What is art to you?
Art to me is the expression of a behavior that involves color and shapes.
Great question. Art is the selective recreation of reality based on one's metaphysical value judgments.
My definition of art is a visual representation of your thoughts and ideas and feelings.
I think that art does tend to bring us together as a society. The purpose of art in society is to uplift the soul.
Just art is important to some people, but not really to me.
As a way to get out of reality. And for those, they just want to express their talents.
It can help you out of depression, it can help others out of depression, and help you understand, and help others understand what you're going through.
Art is what you find beautiful, so or doesn't have to be, could even be things that are so ugly they're beautiful. That could be another form of art. I mean, Jackson Pollock would be the best example of that. Drunken guy that just throws paint and cigarette butts everywhere. It is something nice to look at, and it eases the mind.
I think it's important because it allows you to contribute new ideas to the world.
It's important because without art, I would have no life. And without a life, I'm just this. And this sucks.
It allows us to see the world through others' eyes in any way, shape, or form, whether it's being different or unique, or whether it's sticking to the rules and doing what you're told.
Without art, we are all one person, we are all the same, we all live in a rut, and art is our way out, art is our escape from reality.
You can express yourself.
Okay.
In every place, form, everything else.
Art is important because it advances society and gives us a chance to see how other people perceive things and view the world.
It brings people happiness in a world that's bad, so bad these days.
Why is it important?
It's not.
I think art is important because it gives everyone a way to self-explain themselves. They have their own interpretations and they get to show everyone their views on what they draw or whatever else they choose and how they do it.
I mean, art's incredibly important. First of all, it uses a different part of your brain than any other thing that you're doing, not just in school, but in life in general. But it allows you to make connections between the other areas and arts. When you see those connections, you're actually more informed and not, I guess I won't beat around the bush. You're less ignorant with art when it comes to the real world and how everything works together.
Art is important because it uplifts the spirit. It gives us something to look forward to, something to live for.
Because things that look like me should be broadcasted around the world, I don't know.
A lot of times it's the only outlet some people have to get their anger and things out, and they could put it out on a piece of paper versus or a wall or in a dance or in a song or something like that versus going out and grabbing a gun or beating up someone.
It is important because it supplies communication. They can convey ideas through pictures and colors, and they can explain themselves through that art. And it can also make impacts to when people can't speak out, like when people are oppressed, they make art, and that art normally makes a much larger statement than anybody screaming at like a speech or anything, because everybody else is screaming. It's a different form of screaming.
Jackson Pollock would be the best example of that. Drunken guy that just throws paint and cigarette butts everywhere.